Alrighty, guys, welcome to another episode of the Michael Lapp Show. We are coming at you on a Friday, which I've never done. I might have done it before, like sometime long ago, but I normally don't upload podcasts on Friday. So why would I be uploading a podcast on Friday? Well, there's a few things I want to get out of the way. The first thing I want to get out of the way is I have my phone here. So just a funny story. So I go over to Taylor's house and I'm going over there and I know that she's going to ask me why I went ahead and ordered a new phone instead of just going to T-Mobile and getting one of the guys there to get me a phone. And I'm like, I made an impulse buy and I wanted my own impulse buy to just be my own. I didn't want someone to tell me that, hey man, you made the wrong decision, because I know I made the wrong decision like as I did it. So I was just like, I just want to let me just have this mess up. Like I don't want to share this mess up with somebody, especially because I know like I probably made the impulse decision and there was a better option. So anyways, I did get a new phone. It will be here today or by Friday, so you guys are watching this on Friday. So yeah, it should be here by now. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the phone. You guys don't care at all. It's an iPhone 12 Plus, so I went ahead. I just ordered the new phone. I'm gonna keep the phone. I'm gonna get rid of my old phone. For multiple reasons. Like I have the iPhone 7, so 2016. I'm drinking this soda way too early. It's 9:30 in the morning on Thursday as I'm recording this podcast episode. But so I went ahead and I ordered a new phone. So I have a new phone, and it's gonna help me just with it's gonna be quicker. It's 5G. So anyways, who cares about that? I just want to let you guys know that I did get a new phone. I'm gonna keep digressing. But the reason why I'm coming out with a bonus episode today on Friday, because you guys know I just upload Tuesdays and Thursdays. So anybody who's watching this, thank you so much I got cobwebs in my Roadcaster. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit down and just listen to what I have to say. So I'm trying to think where I can start with all this. But as you guys can see by the title, it's like Chaos at the Capitol, or I don't know, Democracy Unfolding, or whatever it is. And I hope YouTube doesn't take down this video or, flags it or pulls monetization. Actually, I don't care if they F it, like remove monetization if you need to do that, because this episode's not about the money. Most episodes I want to make money on, obviously, because time is money. I put 4 hours a week into a podcast to 2 episodes a week. So it is about the money, and then the marketing and everything else I do on the back end is probably about 10 hours a week of me just working to expand this podcast. And but this episode in particular, I don't care about the money. This episode is about what happened on Wednesday, the 6th in the United States of America. This hits home for me. Because I have family who partook in this terrorist attack, and I don't say that lightly. What we saw on Wednesday was the most disturbing thing I have ever seen in my life. One of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my life. I was 5 years old when 9/11 happened. I don't remember that. But I assure you that was extremely disturbing. But what we saw on Wednesday was the most embarrassing, disgusting, most tyrannical disaster of humankind I've ever seen in my life. I was having a bad day on Wednesday. So I come home, I sit down on the couch. It's like 2:30. I turn on my TV. I'm watching Bloomberg. The whole market's kicking ass. I'm like, oh, cool. At least, I'm having a shitty day, but at least the market's doing well, so I'm making money. And then boom, Bloomberg starts showing these crazy people, these I'm going to keep calling them terrorists, because what they were doing was an act of terror on this country. And the gentleman who directed the act of terror was President Donald Trump. If that guy doesn't get charged with at least a few crimes, it is an embarrassment to America. It is an embarrassment to the judicial system, and it is an embarrassment to, we will be the laughingstock of this entire world. And I know a lot of people have been saying we have been. And you know what, man? I'm an American. I love America. I love what we stand for. I love democracy. I love balance of power. I love the Bill of Rights. But what we saw on Wednesday at the Capitol was the most embarrassing thing, the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. These people were acting like absolute children. They were breaking into the Capitol. They were causing violence in the Capitol. They were shooting off gas in the Capitol. They were terrorizing this country that we all love. I haven't really even spoken about it, but it put me in such a depressed state when I was watching that happen between 2:30 to 5:15. 2 hours and 45 minutes. I probably spent too much time watching it, but I was sitting there I was taken back. I was like, what am I watching here? What am I watching here? That was the day where everything that America stands for, balance of power, processes to change over presidents, peace, love, all went away. Don't get me wrong. Between 7 a.m. to 11 o'clock, those people had 100% not authority, but the right to be there protesting. Whatever. They can protest as much as they want. They could say what they want. They could do what they want. 45,000 people. In my opinion, majority of them acted like terrorists that day. And they should be charged. They should be put away behind bars. And they should be locked up with the same people who are terrorists from other countries. Those are terrorists from our country. Those are terrorists from our country. They put terror into people, and it led to people dying. It led to people dying. And yeah, that one person who was shot, she was part of that protest, but there was no reason for that to even happen. President Donald Trump acted like the biggest coward I have ever seen in my life. You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. Back in 2016, I was excited for Donald Trump to be the president, where I think a lot of people were excited. And I don't think people were, maybe they weren't excited, but they didn't hate the guy. His actions that took place on January 6th are going to go down in history as the most disgusting actions ever taken by a president. I'm going to pull up the Donald Trump quote. Donald Trump speech, Jan 6. It was disgusting. He had effing plexiglass in front of him. We're going to have to, okay, so here we go. So by the way, we're dealing with crazy people. These people that go to these protests are insane. I think the majority of them are schizophrenic. If you're not schizophrenic, you're a failure in the sense that every single thing you've ever tried to do in your life doesn't go your way. It doesn't go your way. So you make up these dumbass conspiracies, and because God forbid, maybe you are just a lazy person and you don't know how to work hard, and you don't work hard, and you don't have passion, and you're lazy, and you're out of shape, and you're not mentally strong. And yeah, there's been a little bit of adversity in your life, but you weren't able to overcome it. I get it. I understand. I hear you. But the reason why this stuff works is because these are the people that follow crazy individuals, that follow people. They need a leader. They need to feel like they have power. Psychology 101. If you have a weak-minded person, they will act together to cause pain to other people. And that's what happened. President Trump, January 6th. We want to be so respectful of everybody. BS. None of that's true. None of that is true. And I'm going to get into the police thing because look, I have a blue thin line behind me, and I love the police. I back the police. I back police officers. In my head, I have been raised by police officers. My entire life was raised around police officers. You would never hear me speak ill about police officers as a group. Now, I will speak out and I will call many police officers a murderer because some of them are murderers, some of them are racist, and some of them deserved capital punishment. Yes, I agree with that. But I do back. I'm a supporter of the thin blue line. I love police officers. And I love America. I love what we stand for. We want to be so respectful of everybody, Mr. Trump said before describing his political opponents as bad people. Quote, and we're going to have to fight much harder. After Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country because you're sworn to uphold our Constitution. He called the outcome of the election an egregious assault on our democracy. And then he said, this is what I'm saying right here. This is why this guy should be put behind bars for a long, long time. For this statement right here. And I don't care if you're a supporter of Donald Trump, if you hate Donald Trump, I don't care who you are. If you just look at the facts here, when you're dealing with a group of people that are unhinged, you've already told them they have to, quote, fight much harder, end quote. You told them they had to fight harder. They had to fight harder. It's a sad day for our country. When he says our country, he knows, you know what that means to all those people. This is our country. This is our capital. This is our place. He calls it an assault on democracy. So fight back. He said his supporters should, quote, walk down to the Capitol. What was expected? What did you expect from 45,000 incels, people who suffer from severe mental illness, people who are delusional, people who are weak people? I'm not going to say uneducated because that's not their fault. I'm saying weak people. Quote, we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, he continued, as we are probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them because you would never take back our country with weakness. You would never take back our country with weakness. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was so sick watching this. I was so sad. Like, I really was. It made me sad. Like, I didn't cry, but I was so sad to watch this. It wasn't even about political parties. Those weren't Republicans. Those weren't Democrats. Those were criminals. That's not what the Republican Party is about, and that's what makes me sad. Because I know a lot of Republicans that are good people. And now forever, if you say you're a Republican, it was already dangerous to say you're a Republican, but now, if you're a Republican, guess who you're tied in with? Donald Trump, who acted on that day as a terrorist leader. And he's put up things before on Twitter saying, like, see if I can find that Donald Trump. And good for Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey for suspending his ass. Should have happened a lot earlier, but good for him. Tweet about vandalism. I don't know how to spell that crap. Where's this quote? He tweeted this June 23rd, 2020. I have authorized the federal government to arrest anyone who vandalizes or destroys any monument, statue, or other such federal property in the U.S. with up to 10 years in prison per the Veterans Memorial Preservation Act or such other laws that may be pertinent. These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way in difficulty, and we will assume control. But the looting starts, the shooting starts. Thank you. This man was threatening the use of a military force, National Guard, when all the protests were going on. These protests that were going on, and yeah, this is racial. It is racial. It's disgusting. It's racial. He was threatening to use military against these protests. What were these? Who were in these protests at the time? African Americans. African Americans were protesting the death of someone who was murdered, choked to death by a shin of a white man. He threatens to use National Guard, military force. Same thing happens. Coward. He has the ability to authorize National Guard. He didn't authorize it for 2 hours while the Capitol was getting overrun. If it was the same situation and it was African American men and women who were doing that, this is a bold prediction. I don't think it is. I think it's very true. There would have been blood on the streets. I don't know what these people were. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know. I think they literally think that the election was stolen from them. And this is what's happening in this country. This guy has been able to twist people's minds, rip any type of self-belief from them, and replaced it with ideologies and racism to make them think that this is their country and they need to get their country back. What does that even mean? Get the country back from what? From what? You want Jim Crow laws back? You don't want your white kids to be sitting with minorities at the lunch table? What are you talking about? Make America great. What we saw on Wednesday was an embarrassment to everybody. It was disgusting. Was I shocked? No, I wasn't shocked. What was his intention of this? Nothing. His intention was to draw the thing out because he's an egotistical, sociopathic, narcissistic maniac who wants attention, and he cannot go a day without it. The Capitol was vandalized, broken into. People were shot, killed. I think 3 people were murdered, multiple people injured. And this is what gets me the most. These people are the same people who back police officers, who back blue lives. I hate that phrase, blue lives. Who back police officers, who support firefighters, ambulance, EMTs, military, police officers. You support these people, right? You just made their day hell. It's a contradiction that I cannot understand. How can you say you support the police officers, but on one day you're breaking into a building where you're going to put them at risk of shooting and killing you? Or you put them at risk because one of your crazy partners walks in there with a weapon and can murder you. Now, to be fair, I think it's insane that the Capitol, what scared me the most, what made me, go like, holy crap, was how easy they just walked into the Capitol. Once again, I'm crazy too for drinking a Diet Pepsi at 9:45 in the morning. That's crazy. What really made me go like, holy crap, was how they just walked right into the Capitol. I saw that. I was like, oh my God. Terrorists from other countries are probably watching this. Even Russia, China, whatever. Americans have a broken idea what a terrorist is. We always think of a terrorist as someone from the Middle East. But terrorism is just an act of terror. That's why I think all these people are terrorists. I really do. And people are going to be like, oh, that's a hot take. No, it's not a hot take. It's common sense. It's common sense. I mean, just the images that you saw. Like one guy sitting in Nancy Pelosi's desk. Look, I'm not a big fan of Nancy Pelosi. I don't particularly like her. Like, if she wasn't the head of the House, I wouldn't be upset, you know? Like, I wouldn't be mad. I'd probably be happy. But Jesus Christ. Go in there and kick your feet up. That shows what white privilege is in this country. This is another thing I think I need to bring up. Oh, I know I need to bring up. That's so important. For anybody who's still confused about what white privilege is, if you're still at that point and you're that much of an idiot, that was white privilege. That's what white privilege is. That's what it symbolizes. You can do things in this country without running the risk of getting murdered. You can do things in this country as a white male without the risk of anything happening to you. I'll say it again and I'll keep stressing it. If this was a group of African Americans protesting Black Lives Matter, would have been chaos. Shots would have been fired a lot earlier. Trump would have called them thugs or gangbangers or whatever. He would have acted as just a terrible human. Makes me mad. Makes me sad. Makes me sad more than anything. Sad. Makes me sad because I felt like there was some type of healing happening in this country. And then boom, this shit happens. Now what I hope happens is people realize that's not Republicans. That's not America. That's a minority of America. 45,000 people were there. I know, I get it. It's a crap ton of people, but I hope this can bring us together. Maybe. I don't know. I hope. I understand if it doesn't, though. I understand if it doesn't bring us together. I wouldn't be upset at people. I wouldn't be upset at people. I would understand. I gained so much respect for Joe Biden that day. I gained so much respect. Anything that, I don't know. If you had any type of respect for Donald Trump before that day, I'm sure it's gone now. He is now bowing out. This is what's so embarrassing. On Market View or whatever, some news channel, I don't know, popped up and it was like, Donald Trump is bowing out. You know, it's an order. He said it's going to be an orderly transition. This was just all for show. He sacrificed 3 human lives for show. He sacrificed the security of our nation for show. He sacrificed the possibility of security in the Capitol for a show. He sacrificed the people who live around the great city of Washington, D.C. for his own benefits. He sat there in the White House and did nothing for 2 hours. Joe Biden came out and he spoke before our president did. What we saw that day is that was the perfect eruption, right? That was a perfect eruption. It was sick. Disgusting. It's an act of terror. I hope it brings people together. I hope people can be like, that's not us. What is that? We need to come together. We can't have that happen again. We won't have that happen again. Anybody who's supporting that, anybody who thinks that was a good idea, I feel sorry for you. You need to really look in. You really need to look into yourself. If you're defending any of that, I think you should really look introspectively about who you are. I don't know. Who am I to tell anybody who they should be and who they shouldn't be? I just give my opinion on things, and that's another reason why I love this podcast, because for days like today, Look, I wasn't gonna wait till Tuesday to put this out. I don't want to put this out on Tuesday. I don't want to have a whole week go by and then I talk about it. I don't want to bring it back down like that. I want to talk about it when it happens. So it's a bonus episode. But this is why I love having the platform that I have, because I need to speak about these things. It was eating me inside. I was embarrassed, man. I was disgusted. It's not about me. It's about national security. This is about terrorism. This is about privilege. God, dude. Anybody who supports that, like, I don't know, you might need to rip some DMT or shrooms or something. You gotta figure something out, man, because that was it's probably one of the darkest days in history. Chaos, anarchy, assault on democracy. Here's how newspapers around the world, let's see what's going on around the world. God, these images of people just walking through the Capitol like that, thinking that they're doing something good. Thinking that they're doing something good. When in reality, all you're doing is acting like a racist, spoiled, low totem pole, low testosterone, absolute, my vocab isn't strong enough, but absolute embarrassment to humankind, into America, into Republicans, because that's not what a Republican is. Canada. Trump supporters invade U.S. Capitol in all-out assault on democracy. Anarchy. 13 original colony flag on it. Saudi Arabia. New warning on, protesters storm U.S. Capitol in bid to overturn Biden election win. From the Arab News. Nigeria. Nigerian Tribune. Trump supporters defile U.S. democracy, overrun Congress. What's it say? Clash with security men. Disrupt Congress certification on Biden's victory. Woman shot in chest inside Capitol building. Curfew imposed. National Guard called in. Pence, Harris, Pelosi, other members of Congress rescued. Go home in peace, Trump tells supporters. Scotland. Capitol chaos. David Pratt on Trump's, Capitol chaos. UK, democracy under siege. That image of the Secret Service, I'm assuming it's Secret Service, holding guns up like this, right on top of the windowsill. Right on top of the windowsill. I think he's in the chambers of the House. Italy. USA. Un Giuliano de Golpo. I don't know what that means. Same image. Brazil. Let me look that up. Insul. Spanish to English. I don't know. This may not even be. This may be not Spanish, but Portuguese. But we're gonna see. Insulfada. Poor Trump. Mot. Deo. Invade. Vandaliza. I know that one. Vandaliza. Congresso. Confesso. I'm an idiot. Insulted by Trump, Malteado invades and vandalizes Congress. I don't have the little fancy thing over the A. That's probably why I can't see it. Such a dummy. But Jesus, man, that market is up, son. Market's making big money. That's what I remember. This is kind of insensitive, but I remember when I first saw it happen and the market dropped, I was like, "Damn, man!" The raging on the Capitol is affecting the market. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, dude, that was Trump presidency finishes in American carnage as rioters storm the Capitol from the Washington Post. Trump loyalists push baseless theory Antifa staged mob attack. That was insane. I know people who were posting on Facebook that this was a staged attack. Antifa is doing this. Like I know somebody who put a picture on Facebook of the guy sitting in the chair in the chambers of the Senate, acting like he was like running the show, or whatever, and he was saying how this was a circle around the dude and a circle around the cameraman above it. I don't know if you guys know the photo I'm talking about, and he was like, this was a Antifa based they set this up. I said, huh? What do you hold up. Wait, are you serious? What? Remove his ass from office. It's an embarrassment. I can't stay here. Mick Mulvaney resigns from Trump administration. Yep. You can't. You can't. You just can't. You can't support that. You just can't support that. It was terror. The people who say it was okay, if those people were not white, if they were Middle Eastern, or if they were the skin color of African Americans, you would be so mad. You would be calling these people thugs. You would be calling these people the enemy of the state. You would be calling these people terrorists. You would not be supporting any of this. And I don't care what anybody says. That looked like I did the Hitler thing. I didn't do the Hitler thing. But you cannot support any of this. This is absolute chaos. This is disgusting. This is the scum of the earth. These are weak individuals. These are racist people. These are people who hate anybody who is not white. You saw Confederate flags, and what it represents the South. Cool, I get it. But also, you can't say retard anymore. You can't say queer anymore. You can't say faggot anymore. You can't say these things, so don't say them. You know that. You don't be stupid. I hate it. Drives me crazy. Oh my God. What's going on in business? Oh, did I say Jack Ma definitely got murdered? I think I probably said that. I'm sure he did. Let's see what Motley Crue's telling me to put $100,000. If I have $100,000, where am I going to put it? Considering this, I would invest $10,000 each in Abbott Laboratories. Cool. Teladoc Health. Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Shout out to Taylor. That's my girl. She has money in there, and she bought it at a really, really high price. So she's trying to get her money back. Vertex specializes in cystic fibrosis treatments. In fact, the company predicts it will continue to be the leading player in the market until at least the 2030s. Even during the coronavirus, Vertex managed to start new patients on its treatments. And in the most recent quarter, raised its full-year product revenue forecast. The market leadership and strength in times of trouble make me confident about Vertex. Huh. That's cool. That's cool. I like it. I would also add Clorox and McDonald's with an investment of $10,000 each. Let's add some dividends. So he wants some dividend stocks. Boy, I get it. I'm totally down. The dividend stocks are always good. 2 bets. Next, I would make 2 bets on the market of a coronavirus treatment and on a car maker. While coronavirus vaccines market soared last year, companies developing treatments lagged behind. Regeneron, for instance, climbed 29%. By comparison, vaccine went up 20%. Novavax more than 2,000%. Oh my God. Tesla's share prices keep on climbing, but so does demand for its cars. Revenue has been increasing for about 6 years. I'm always, and even if it's, so I would invest 10,000 in this stock now. Damn. There's I bought an ETF called Drive. I bought Drive ETF. It invests in companies that are electric cars, and it's not just electric cars though. It also invests. Let me look at the holdings. Oh yeah, not an expert by the way. So don't. Once again, This is not my. I don't have I don't have a place for I don't have a place for expertise, but this is not financial advice. I don't want people to ever get like mad at me and be like, "Hey, you told me to do this and I lost all this money." I never told you to do anything. Don't listen to me. Just don't listen to me. Just don't listen to what I have to say. I probably bought in really high too, like an idiot. But I think it's gonna. I think with Joe Biden and Senate run, the Senate being Democratic now, and also the other guys, the House, and also there's only 2 years until mid-elections, and so I think a lot of things are going to happen. I think the money in marijuana is going to blow up. New York is looking to recreationally legalize marijuana, so that's going to blow up. So there's a ETF called MJ, and there's one called THCX. No, not going to say that. I invest in those companies. I put a lot of money in those companies because I think marijuana is going to be as popular as everything else. It should be, at least. Also, I do think electric cars are going to take over. They're going to take over at least for these next 4 years. But I think this next year is going to be crazy because I think a lot of countries that are not developed, I think they need something to bring in money, and I think a lot of countries can assist in electric car companies. Maybe not making cars, but doing things to help to make things for the electric car companies. Anyways, they also have a dividend. Drive has a dividend, I think. I think they have the dividend's not that high, but I don't see it. Where is it? Drive dividend. Yeah, 0.28% yield. So, the dividend is coming out in a few days. 0.07 per share. So, not that much. I only bought 2 shares of it, and then I have recurring investments. But here are the holdings. Let me just pull it up real quick before I lose it. So Tesla, they own 4.5% of Tesla. Qualcomm is a company that electric car companies use for their companies. I think, maybe not. No, I think Qualcomm's actually a company. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's a semiconductor, so it's used for car companies. Apple, which is a 2.71% holding. At first, I was like, that's weird. But then, you remember, I predicted Apple's going to have cars, electric cars, and they are working on that. NIO is like the Tesla of China. It's like the biggest electric car company in China. NVIDIA, which is a semiconductor, which is 2.53%, which is actually one of their biggest hell yeah. That's my boy right there. I love that guy. Let me respond real quick to my buddy. Super pumped. Invested of money on November 3rd. It's only grown since then. Needs to be legal. I love it, man. I love when people around me start. I don't know. I'd love. Yeah. I don't know. I love helping people a lot. I love seeing people do well. I don't ever want to see people do bad. I love when people do well. Anyways, yeah. So Alphabet, which obviously Google, but I think Google's also going to be a winner too. I don't know how Google is not going to be a winner. Jesus Christ, the market is up crazy today. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God. Oh, what a good day to be an American. Also, not a good day to be an American. Actually, it is a good day to be an American. It was a good day to be an American. As long as you're not a freaking crazy one. And the jobless claims improve. And I still got to run. Not like leap, but like run on the treadmill. But yeah, also Toyota, Plug Power, which Plug Power has been crazy all year. Samsung Electronics and Microsoft Corp. So It's a good one. Investment seeks to provide investment results that correspond generally to the price and yield performance before fees and expenses of the solar active autonomous and electric vehicle index. The fund invests at least 80% of its total assets in the securities of the index. The index is designed to provide exposure to exchange listed companies that are involved in the development of electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles, including companies that produce electric hybrid vehicles, electric hybrid vehicle components, and materials, autonomous driving technology, and network connectivity services for transportation. It is not diversified. Boom, 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 boom. So much love coming in. Guys, I hope you enjoy this bonus episode. I mean, these will be cool to do weekly. I might even make a Patreon where I could do that, but we will see. I have to go run and eat and go to work and have a beautiful day. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Let's listen. Let's all be good to each other. We need to love each other. We need to be nice to each other. We need to let go of parties. We need to treat each other like humans. If you're a scumbag, get the fuck out of here. We don't need you in our life. Like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, guys. I love you so much. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be safe. Get vaccinated if you can. Don't listen to me. I'm not a medical expert, but I will be getting vaccinated as soon as I can. Love you guys. Peace out. See ya.